The state can call its next witness.
The state calls Detective Lukas Hallmark.
Detective, you can come up to the witness stand. When you get up here, please remain standing and raise your right hand to be sworn in by the clerk.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give in this matter before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You can have a seat. Please position yourself nice and close to the microphone, and when you are ready, start by stating your name, spelling your first and last for the record.
Lukas Hallmark, Lukas. Hallmark, Hallmark.
Sir, how are you employed?
City of Waukesha Police Department.
As a police detective?
Correct.
How long have you been with the Waukesha Police Department?
Approximately 19 years.
And as a detective with the Waukesha Police Department, do you have a specific type of case that you investigate, or is it more of everyone investigates a little bit of everything?
I am assigned specifically to financial crimes, so white-collar, fraud, embezzlement, those type of crimes.
When there is a death investigation within the jurisdiction of the City of Waukesha Police Department, are there times where detectives who may not necessarily only investigate homicides might pitch in to assist in the investigation with whatever additional work might need to be completed?
Yes.
I'd like to direct your attention to October 30th of 2024. And on that date was a body located at 1512 East North Street.
Yes.
Were you one of the detectives who responded to the scene that night, or no?
I was not.
Did you subsequently provide assistance in investigating who the individual was and building a timeline of that deceased individual's last 24 hours?
That is correct.
In a death investigation, why is it important for law enforcement to build that 24-hour timeline prior to the decedent's death?
Well, it's important for many factors. In this particular case, it was very helpful to go back and determine where the individual was, what they were wearing, especially with in my line of work with financial crimes, we were able to determine what the person purchased, those types of things, to kind of identify what patterns of life the person had prior to them being killed.
In this case, with the remains being discovered approximately 6 to 7 months after he was last seen, would obtaining information about those last 24 hours also help corroborate the date that the individual would have died?
Yes.
In this specific case, were you aware that the identification of the remains had been made and the individual was Carlos Maldonado?
That's correct.
And were you made aware then, as part of your investigation with your other officers, that he was a resident at that apartment building on North Street?
That's correct.
What did you do in this investigation to build that 24-hour timeline of Mr. Maldonado's of the day that he died?
So through investigation, we learned that Mr. Maldonado completed his financial transactions through Educators Credit Union. So I submitted a subpoena to Educators Credit Union to determine where his debit card was used during the course of the period of time where we thought that he might have last been alive.
And did you notice any purchases that were made on April 14th of 2024?
Yes. In reviewing financial records, you are able to determine if a charge is usually like a point of sale service. So like if someone goes into a store and they actually use the card physically, either tap or insert in a chip or a swipe, you're able to kind of determine that on the credit card statement opposed to like a reoccurring charge or something that's purchased online. So we were able to determine that the last point of sale service or purchase by Mr. Maldonado was on April 14th.
Was that at a Home Depot located in the city of Delafield?
Correct.
Once you saw that purchase on Mr. Maldonado's financial records, did you go to that Home Depot location?
I physically didn't go there. I spoke with a security asset protection manager from Home Depot, but I am familiar with that store.
Okay, have you been there before?
I have.
And having been there before, would you be familiar with the layout if you saw it on surveillance video?
Yes.
And are you aware of this particular Home Depot store, but Home Depots in general have video surveillance cameras throughout their stores?
Correct.
And have you, in prior investigations, even if it's a financial crimes case, obtained or been asked to obtain video surveillance from either Home Depot or Menards or any other stores like that?
Yes.
And are you aware too, if Home Depot, as with any store, in their normal course of business, they keep receipts or copies of rental contracts when individuals or customers come in to either rent or make a purchase?
Yes.
And did you, based upon Mr. Maldonado's visit to the Home Depot on April 14th, obtain any paper documents or receive any of those of that nature, whether it was a rental agreement or a receipt or something like that?
I did. There was 2 documents that I received. One was a rental for a miter saw at the tool rental area, and the other one was a transaction, like a purchase transaction of items that he actually purchased there.
Madam Clerk, can you please turn on the screen in front of the witness?
Yes.
And while we're doing that, as part of your building of Mr. Maldonado's last 24 hours, did you also locate other purchases that he would have made in person on April 14th?
Yes.
Was one of those locations a Quick Trip in Waukesha?
Correct.
And then did he make a purchase at Harbor Freight in Waukesha?
Yes.
Did you obtain receipts from those 2 businesses showing what would include a date and timestamp of Mr. Maldonado's purchases?
Specifically with Quick Trip, we were able to obtain the receipts and the transactions for what occurred. On Harbor Freight, when we went to the location, they didn't actually have a physical receipt to give us due to the time that had passed. However, they were able to pull up the transaction on their computer and show us the items that were purchased. However, they weren't able to give us the exact time that the items were purchased on that day.
On the screen in front of you, I'm first showing you what is marked as State's Exhibit number 60. 61. 62, 63, 64, and then Exhibit 59. Have you seen each of those exhibits prior to your testimony today?
I have.
Would those be the either video or documents or screenshot from Harbor Freight that you just referenced?
Yes.
I would move exhibits 60 through 64 and 59 into evidence and ask to publish to the jury.
Mr. Lychwick, any objection to receiving those exhibits?
No,
They will be received. Any objection to publication?
no.
They will be published as well.
Detective Hallmark, I'd like to first start with the financial statement for Mr. Maldonado. How did you obtain his financial documents? I know you said that you found out he banked at Educators Credit Union, but how did you actually get this document?
We found Mr. Maldonado's debit card, and we were able to identify the numbers on the card, and we were able to submit the subpoena to Educators Credit Union.
And the subpoena prior to its submission, was it approved by a judge here in Waukesha County?
Correct.
Is that a standard practice for any warrant or subpoena that yourself or other detectives serve on a company or an individual.
Yes.
Now, when you received the financial records back from Educators Credit Union, was there a time frame that you had asked for?
Yes, there was. I don't specifically remember the large scope of the time frame that we requested, but I believe it was January 2024 through, I actually don't recall the end date that we requested it. Yeah.
Okay, in looking at Exhibit 62, is this a 3-page statement of the monthly statement for April 1st through April 30th of 2024 for Mr. Maldonado's Educators Credit Union account?
Yes.
Okay, and now when you reviewed this, if we go down to April 14th of 2024, do you see the Home Depot purchase at Delafield, or at the Delafield location that you just talked about?
Yes.
Okay. Is this what I am highlighting here with my cursor? Is this the one of the purchases that he made at that Home Depot on April 14th?
Correct.
And we noticed that withdrawal POS, which you defined for us earlier as meaning he was in person. Is that fair to say?
I mean, most likely, the POS means point of sale. I mean, there's a potential that there's a possibility that the point of sale could be included on the credit card statement, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the person was in person. But it routinely or commonly does refer to that, yes.
Okay. What did you learn Mr. Maldonado was doing at this Home Depot location in Delafield on April 14th?
So in review of the camera footage, we're able to determine that he rented a miter saw through the tool rental, and he also had other items that he had purchased, a paintbrush, an extension cord, there was some polyurethane and some other items.
In looking at Exhibit 60, which should be on the screen in front of you now, is this the receipt for the items separate from the miter saw that Mr. Maldonado purchased on April 14th at approximately 10:23 a.m.?
Correct.
Okay. Now, going to then Exhibit 61, what is Exhibit 61?
This would be the tool rental purchase from the Home Depot in Delafield.
And is this the rental agreement for that miter saw?
Correct.
Was this miter saw ever recovered from the property of 1512 East North?
It was.
Were you one of the individuals that recovered it?
I did not take possession of it, but I was there when we searched the area and we located it, yes.
Okay. Now, on this rental agreement, can you see when the miter saw was due to be returned?
It was due back on April 14th at 2:21 p.m., so it was a 4-hour rental.
And because you located it on scene at the property, is it fair to say that was not returned?
It was not.
Now, looking at Exhibit 63, what is this exhibit?
This exhibit is is a photograph of the computer at Harbor Freight showing the transaction of Mr. Maldonado's Educators Credit Union card at that location.
And we can see the transaction date on the right-hand side of Exhibit 63, and that's April 14th of 2024. Is that correct?
Yes.
Then going to Exhibit 64, what is this?
This is a receipt of a transaction that occurred at Quick Trip store number 527, which is located at, I think it's 1700 Pewaukee Road in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
After April 14th of 2024, were you able to see any other activity on Mr. Maldonado's educator's account or any other financial records that you got?
There was some activity after the 14th, yes.
And what kind of activity was that?
There was a charge for Instacart for, I don't know the exact amount, it was for like $100 some. And that we later submitted a subpoena to Instacart as well to determine what that charge was for, and we learned it was a reoccurring subscription fee.
So it was already set up. It wasn't Mr. Maldonado making a purchase through Instacart.
Correct.
I do not have any other questions for this witness. Thank you.
All right, cross-examination, Mr. Lychwick.
I have no questions either.
Detective Enos.
Actually, Judge, I did just think of one more question that I forgot to ask Detective Hallmark since he's still here.
All right, I'll allow Detective to be recalled because he's still in order. There were no cross-examination questions, but I'll allow Mr. Lychwick to ask a cross-examination question if it's
Yes.
warranted. Detective, you may sit down again. Attorney Thompson.
Thank you. Detective Hallmark, I apologize. We talked about video surveillance, but I did not play it with you. I'm showing you what is marked as State's Exhibit number 59. What are we looking at here?
It'll take a moment for the screen to come up.
All right, it's up.
Thank you. What are we looking at Exhibit 59?
This is the tool rental area for the Home Depot in Delafield. The camera's pointing down towards the clerk cashier area. And if you look to the screen to the left is where Mr. Maldonado is standing with a cart with a 4x4 piece of wood. And he's got a darker color pants and a gray shirt and a blue hat. And then that's the actual entrance to the store. And if you look to the right, out that way towards the garbage can, that is the exit out towards the parking lot.
Does Mr. Maldonado, when you watch the video, end up coming closer to the counter?
Yes,
And is that when you see he is making a purchase?
correct.
Okay. What evidentiary value did this video have later on in your investigation as it relates to what Mr. Maldonado is wearing in this video?
So the shoes that Mr. Maldonado is seen wearing in this video right here match very consistently the color, the shape, the formation of how the two patterns come together, the white and the blue on the shoe matched with the shoes that were located on the individual located at 1512 East North Street.
And as far as the date and timestamp on this video, is that contained in the bottom left-hand corner in the title of this video?
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to play not the entirety of the video because it is 6.5 minutes long, but I am starting at the 0-second mark, and I will indicate the timestamp when I stop. I am pausing at 1 minute and 5 seconds. Detective Hallmark, can you please circle on the screen in front of you which individual Carlos Maldonado is? Can we please capture that as Exhibit 59A?
It will be captured. Just one moment while my clerk confirms.
Now, I do not have any other questions for Detective Hallmark. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Lychwick, do you have any cross-examination questions?
Not for the detective, but since the prosecution enjoyed re-examining this witness, I think it would only be fair that I could re-cross-examine Ms. Glenda Rose.
All right, I understand that request. I made an exception for the state here because the witness was not taken out of order, so I'm denying the request at this time to recall the other witnesses for cross-examination. All right, Detective, you may step down. Thank you.